All right. What do we got? Tuesday already. See, I mean, it was just Monday, and then before you know it, Tuesday. Next thing you know, it'll be Sunday. You'll be looking forward to Monday again. Hey, it's Bob Doyle here. So let's just, I talk a lot about brain rewiring, transformation. It's what I've been doing for freaking ever. But when it comes down to it, however you transform, you're going to do it. You're going to transform successfully because you were consistent about something for long enough for your brain to rewire to support that new action, behavior, way of being, plan of action, right? To support it, that's when transformation happens, when the brain is rewired. But it does absolutely demand the consistency. And we can just think about everything that we've learned in our lifetime, especially the big stuff like the walking and the talking and all those other human non-negotiables, to know that, yeah, that took some time. We went to school for 12 years or however long we went after that. Consistency. If you want to learn something, if you want to incorporate it into your everyday life, if you want it to be a part of who you are, it takes consistency. And so when we take on personal transformation and we try it for a while, or we give it a shot for 30 or 45 days or 90 days, and we don't get the results we want, well, then we get all irritated because, well, I guess this process doesn't work, or transformation isn't possible, or this, whatever it is. It's because we're ignoring the reality of what it takes to transform. Consistency. And also, a lot of times when people take on programs or they take on a new philosophy or whatever, it's something that they sort of do a little bit here and there. Oh, I'm spending an hour a day reading this book or reading the material, or I'm visualizing or whatever. So, but the other 23 hours a day, it's back to the same old stories, the same old patterns, the same old everything. And, oh, by the way, you're probably telling people how you're working on yourself. Okay, I don't mean to be snarky about it, but the fact of the matter is people get all jaded and disappointed in the process, or, the concept of improving their lives because they don't get the results after they try something, but they're not really doing what the brain needs to have done to get the results on an ongoing basis. Right, because life is not a program really, but your brain is running one big time. And if you don't get in there and change it, which you have the ability to do, then of course you're going to be consistently run by that program. If you like it and you're getting the results you want, fantastic. If you don't like the results you're getting, we can change the program, but again, it takes consistency. But consistency is hard because this process gets uncomfortable pretty quick, especially the bigger the transformation you want to make, right? You're saying, no, I want my wiring to be like this, which is going to be maybe sometimes dramatically different than it is now. So of course, it's going to be uncomfortable. And when you don't know how to navigate that discomfort, generally speaking, the old wiring is going to kick in and say, okay, we're out of here. This isn't going to work for me. Let's find a different approach or whatever. But of course, that's just the old wiring reaching its limits. And if you haven't gotten information from the outside, or you can't find a new way to look at things, or if you insist on running the same version of your truth over and over again, nothing will change. But what if I could show you how to adjust your version of the truth that is way more empowering to you? It's no less true than the lies you're telling yourself about why you can't do something or why you can't stay consistent with something. So on some level, we all know that it takes consistency to learn something. We've had countless experiences of it in our life. But when it comes to going for our goals or personal transformation, we kind of make up a different set of rules. I often blame the personal development industry in the way that they've packaged up transformation and made all these promises about how quickly it's going to happen or how effortless it's going to be or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Seemingly magical results by just doing these things for 30 days or whatever. Look, it takes at least 66 days for your brain to rewire, and that's if you're being consistent. 66 days to a year, that's consistency. So you got to be really committed to your vision to be consistent in the way that you need to be consistent to make this transformation stick. And that is what I help people do. To first lock into a vision that is exciting and inspiring enough for them to want to be consistent, to make that consistency basically non-negotiable, because that's really the secret. Once you make it non-negotiable, it's a lot easier to be consistent because it's non-negotiable. So that means it doesn't matter what comes your way, what setbacks you have, how long it takes, or how many times you need to keep doing it, you're going to do it because it's that important to you. It is that much in tune with why you're here on this planet. It's going to give you the most joy by far to live that life. So whatever it takes to unlearn what you've learned to tell you that you can't do it or that it's going to take too long, whatever it takes, isn't it worth it? right? What better investment could you make in your time and whatever else to be able to change this, your operating system, the lens through which you see the world, your very fabric of truth, to something that is going to actually serve you? So we have these free trainings at least once a week. The next one is this Thursday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific. Allow about an hour and a half to do this. We're going to show you how you got wired in the first place. Just it's actually a very simple presentation because it doesn't need to be freaking complicated. We're born to do this. So what we teach you is, show you how you got wired in the first place, which will empower you to see that, oh, well, if I got wired, I can rewire. And then we talk about how do you rewire and how do you know how you want to rewire? In other words, what's the result you're really wanting? And who's determining that result? In other words, are you deciding what you want from who you are now, or are you deciding what you want from the ideal future version of you, which is what you should be doing? So if this sounds interesting to you, if you ever feel like you're you're just stuck in a pattern because you keep doing the same behavior, the same rationalization, or you find yourself defending your limitations, or any of these things, you find yourself quitting, finding yourself being inconsistent, or have this story to people, I just have a problem with commitment. That's a wiring issue, and it's not serving you. And if you keep holding on to it, logic dictates you can never get to that next level because you keep telling yourself why you can't, or you keep stopping the action that's going to get you there, right? It's just logic. So we need to break that loop, replace it with a different set of wiring over time with all the support and tools and everything you need. But it starts with the knowledge, which we are happy to give you at no charge this Thursday morning, 9 a.m. If that time doesn't work for you, we got 2 other times that you can choose after that. All of these trainings are live. I'm actually there in person talking to you and answering your questions in real time. It is not a pre-recorded thing, and it's a little bit different every time. We have a little bit different angle. Things will flow a little bit differently, but the end result is you will be empowered to, if you want to, starting that day, begin to dramatically and significantly change your wiring and thus the outcomes you get in your life, which is your experience of reality. So it's kind of a big deal. So I hope to see you at one of these trainings super soon.